Hello, 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 hello. So, tonight's episode of Rides and Vibes is not sponsored. However, if you would like to become a Rides and Vibes sponsor, feel free to reach out to me via DM, email, or you can call me, and I'll be happy to discuss with you possibly becoming a Rides and Vibes sponsor. Now, let me tell y'all something. How I have been anticipating bringing on and speaking with Project Hellnational, you would not believe. I am super excited to talk to this. And let me just say this. Y'all know I'm Team G Body all the way, but the fact that, you know what, I won't say too much. I'm just gonna let Project Hell National come in, and then we'll continue speaking about it. Now, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. You can do that by clicking the link in my bio and let me tell you something. You don't know how I have been anticipating talking to you.
You know what? I gotta say, I'm happy to see you and meet you. I'm happy, Jersey.
Right?
You know, if you hear some noise in the background, that's the dog Moose playing with his toy.
It's all right. It's all right. So, let me tell you, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down. And I tell the guests for thank you for letting us get all up in y'all business for a minute.
That's all right. Thank you. I would just want to say thank you for everything, and I appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate you. So I'll start off with one of my questions, and then I'll get right into the fans' questions. All right. So tell me how you got started being into cars.
All right. So I started off Honda Civics. I'm Puerto Rican, Jersey City, Honda Civics. You know. You know, it started with that young. And then,
Okay.
I started getting into the muscle cars later on when I was 15.
Okay.
And I would pay people to do stuff for me. And I got so tired of getting screwed over to get paid, like
Right.
paying people to do stuff, the wait time, the overcharging parts, stuff like that. I went through a disaster with a '69 Charger I had. I ended up selling it. I went through the runner with a bunch of cars, and I learned my lesson. And finally, one day, I was just like, you know what? If they could do it, I could do it.
Right.
You know. So I said, I'm gonna start learning how to do this stuff, and I took it upon myself. 4 kids, a wife, a house, a dog, and I said, let me do it, and I
Wow.
started doing it, and it turned into something.
Wow. So how long ago was that?
I would say that was '67 Chevelle back '07.
Okay.
That was in 2007.
Okay. So
That's
you've
how I
been
remember dates and times. And my wife gets mad because I go by car. And she's like, you don't go by kid or nothing. I'm like, oh, honey, we got too many kids. I go by the car. So I know the year is '67 Chevelle in '07.
right. So now, first of all, I gotta say, Team G Body. I'm all the way team. Even though
I
I
love
was
it.
born and raised in Florida, I'm still. You would think I would be a dunk girl, and I respect dunks, but I'm a
Yes.
G Body girl all the way. I'm building an '86 SS right now, and I just love me. Now, a Grand National is one of my dream cars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
It's always
what
been.
gave you the thought to put a Hellcat motor in a Grand National?
You know, I'm a broke kid. I'm a broke dad.
Okay.
I pay everything for all the kids, for the wife, everything, the schooling, everything. So whatever I could do. So I had an 86, I had an 80, I had an '87 Shell.
Okay.
The motor and trans, it was out the car already. It was locked up, and this car, it was found in PA, and it was full of rust, mud, snakes, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Everybody thinks I just took a running and driving '87 Grand National and was like, here, I'm just gonna chop it up. I'm no, see, I'm not
Right.
that crazy. Not yet, not
Right.
yet. you know, so it was basically the motor and trans was out of it. I ended up selling the motor and trans to a buddy of mine, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So I was like, let me look around, and I brought it to the attention of my wife. I go, the Hellcats are like out and new. This is 2015, 2016.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to do something, kind of stupid, something new.
Right.
And she was like, "What are you thinking?" I was like, "What about a Hellcat?" And she's like, "Don't be stupid." She's like, "It's not gonna work."
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe that. And that's what I heard from everybody. And probably within the month, I ended up finding a motor and trans. And she turns around and goes, "You're really gonna do this?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm really gonna do it." So it ended up happening. I ended up going to a chassis shop in Mass somewhere, or
Okay.
no, Connecticut,
Okay.
and they did some stuff over there, like the frame bracing and stuff like that. And the rest of it was history from there. It's measurements. I actually own the copyright to the motor mounts and the trans mounts and stuff like that. The Hemi to G body, the 5.7, the 6.2, 6.4, header stuff like that. And I ended up selling it to Car Bar in Atlanta. Those guys over there.
Right.
I ended up selling it to those guys, because family comes first.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what really started it. And then once I started sanding the car down and really like trying to fit the motor and trans and everything, I was just like, this is gonna be something. This
Right.
this this could really work. And then I was actually shocked at like how it wasn't as super hard
Right.
to really really do. What it really was is just a lot of measuring and cutting over and over and over again. Paying for parts, sending them back, paying for parts, and then just keeping them, and then trying to make them fit.
Right.
That's what a lot of it was, and that was a lot of trial and error. And we're talking at a time that it wasn't just plug and play,
Right.
um, like harnesses and stuff like that. So I had to use what I had, and learned a lot. I learned a lot from it. It really taught me a lot, and it really taught me that why am I paying people? This is something that I could really enjoy and get down doing and doing myself and helping other people. That's why I'm not like I wanted to show everybody I'm not like these shops out here, and I'm not like these $1 million guys that have 20 employees. I'm a single. I'm a dad by myself with a one-car garage. Like I said, wife and kids, and whenever somebody hits me up, I give them the information. I don't gatekeep. There's no reason to gatekeep. There's no reason to not share the information. I want everybody to enjoy. And I don't, nobody out there should be paying $100,000 to get a car, you know what I mean? To do
Right.
stuff that you enjoy and love. And this is why the car scene is dying, and people aren't enjoying it as much anymore. It's because people tend to get screwed over by body shops and mechanics and tuning shops and stuff like that. I have nightmare stories about people trying to get over on me. And that's what really turns a lot of people off. And what I wanted to do is show everybody, us, minority, whoever, whatever, that you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be nothing. You don't have to have the experience and nothing. Just get out and try and do and show the world what you can do.
Right.
You know, and I'm happy about that. I really did. I really did that, and I really put myself in a place that made me so comfortable being around cars and working on cars. And the messages I get from people, saying that they're proud of me across the world in Germany and Connecticut and Boston, and I inspired them and this and that. It really makes my day and helps me. You know, it really does, and I'm really proud to say that I put us in history. And I did something that nobody can take from us, saying that we came out with the first and only. It was innovative. It was the first of its kind, and it paved the way for a lot of other people to be comfortable out there and try and do. And don't be afraid to do it. That's what I loved.
Well, that was definitely you kind of tied into in my next question. Were you surprised at how receptive everybody was too? Because I
I
know when I
was.
first saw it, I was like, oh my god.
I really was. I was a little of both because it was changing my mind a lot because I was really nervous because I got a lot of hate. I got a lot of hate from a lot of people talking about when I see you at a car show, your family's gonna get hurt, tar and feather, we're gonna light the car on fire, Mexican, all kinds of stuff like that. You know how this, and I got a lot of good and I got a lot of bad, but more good, and then as it started progressing more and more and more, those people that talked all that stuff and hated, they started seeing the car, oh. He finished the body work. Oh, he got the motor in. Oh, the supercharger. Oh, it's getting tuned. Oh, it's running. It's driving. He got the transmission working. And then they started to come around, and it was like, you see how you could change minds? And you
Right.
don't have to fight evil with evil and get loud and stupid. You let your actions speak, and that car spoke a lot. That car really did speak a lot.
It definitely has. So what's one thing that's happened since you've been doing your build that you were like, oh my God, oh my God. Like, so maybe somebody that hit you up or somebody that wanted to speak with you or somebody that wanted to see the car and you was like, oh my goodness.
Yes. You know what's funny? I wasn't really a people person, and I was always so nervous to be behind a camera, or the wife record, or one of the kids, or somebody come or talk to me or something. I never thought I would have got the reception that I got and the support and the love
Mm-hmm.
that from everybody, from regular people like me to celebrities. I've had Killer Mike hit me up. Uh, a bunch of people, football guys. It's so many people have been so receptive and so nice. I never expected it. That I'm even like, is this real? Is this really them? Is this going on? You know, uh, a lot of people. It's been so crazy the ride, and it's been so happy. And I love the fact that no matter what, forever on the internet and on paper and cemented, my kids have something to be happy and proud of when they see our name or our last name, and other people have too. Like, you don't have to have $1 million company to do. This guy did it in his backyard with 3 wrenches and a 100-piece socket set.
Yeah.
You just get out there and you do it, and just don't be scared. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody change. No, none of your dreams or whatever you want to do. You can do it as long as you put your mind to it. You learn it, and don't let what anybody says put you down. Don't ever let it stop. If you want to paint your car a certain color, you paint your car a certain color. If you want to put certain rims on your car, put certain rims on your car. If you want to put a Rolls Royce engine in your car, do it. It's yours. Have your fun.
Right.
This is what life is having fun. You don't want to be boring.
Right.
You do what you want to do. I love the ride. The ride has been amazing. It's been great. The people along, the car shows, the driving, the smiles, and I never thought a kid from Jersey City would ever be, going where I'm going, and seeing the places I've seen and the people I've seen and talked to. Is just, I never imagined it in a million years. And it's
So
because of the car.
right, but see that's a testament to the fact that you got car guys and you got guys with cars.
Yeah,
So the actual car guys and girls
yeah.
are like, oh, because when I saw it, I was like, oh my.
And there's two versions of the car. When I tell people there was two versions, and this was me playing around with the car, like I said, back in 15, 16, 17, around there. This was me playing. There was no help, no nothing like
Right.
that. So I actually blew the motor up, and we ended up making 800 and change, and I actually ended up blowing the motor up. So I had to make a decision. Again, here we go, broke dad. What am I gonna do?
Right. Right.
The wife and kids already ain't happy. They get one less gift for Christmas. The wife's looking at me every time. I'm like, honey, I need a new part or something. She's giving me the look like, yeah. But everybody was so supportive and let me go and let me follow my dreams. They said, put yourself first. And that's what crazy. That's what I'm so happy about. They were so supportive. So I blew that motor up the first time and I said, oh, what am I going to do now? I already learned what I had to learn. I know what I need to know. What else can I do? And what else can I show people that even when the bad does happen, just keep rolling with it?
Right.
I rebuilt it. I rebuilt it. I threw a turbo on it. I threw nitrous on it. And the car made 1,300 horsepower. And I did it. A kid, like I said, no 20 employees, no
Right.
15 lifts, no special nothing, no million subscribers on YouTube, none of that. Just a kid with a little 100-piece socket set and 3 wrenches. A couple of friends, that were really by my side and showed me support and that I could call. Ripper tuned over there. Those guys were great. I got to give Mike his credit. Sometimes Mike at Sing Garage, he helped a lot too. I had a few guys in my corner at the time. We butt heads a lot. That's the car game. That's family. That's friends. We butt heads a lot, but you have that support in your corner too, you know. And I ended up selling the car. I think last year. I ended up selling the car. You know, family's taken care of, but an RV. We've been traveling. You know, I do have another project. I
Okay.
do, and I've been keeping it under wraps. I haven't
Okay.
revealed it yet,
Okay.
but it's just as crazy as Hellnational.
Okay. Okay.
And I plan on revealing that later on, and we're gonna get to that.
Later on,
But
like when?
I'm gonna say within the next 2-3 months, I'm gonna reveal the car. I got the laser business going on over there and stuff like
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
And I plan on revealing the car, and you'll be the first one I let know. You'll be the first one.
Yay! I was just about to ask, can I get the exclusive?
Oh, you'll get the exclusive on the car and everything. I got something just as crazy as the Hell National, and just something that'll blow people's minds that they never seen before. It's something they'll be proud of. It's something that they want to see and know they can do it and try it too. I have no beef. People call me 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes because I be yelling at them. Hey, don't be calling me no 3, 4 o'clock in the morning asking me questions. But I get the time difference.
Right.
They be calling me. Hey, what can I do for this? Where do I plug this in? How do I get this part? What do I get with this part? And granted, KB, like I love answering questions. I'll answer any question. I'm a sweetheart. I don't gatekeep. I will help anybody and everybody. I'll drive an hour to bring a part or help or wrench on a car without charging. I'm that kind of person. And my problem is I expect that back from people.
Good
You
luck.
know. Yeah. Just like my wife, she says, good luck. That's the kind of person I am. But
Right.
that's what I do. I learned I've been alone by myself for a long time. And my wife and my kids show me sometimes compassion.
Right.
You know. They've taught me how to be more compassionate and understanding and listening. But don't be calling me other people, asking me no questions 4 o'clock in the morning though. I'm trying to sleep. I
But
got stuff to do.
it's super dope that your wife and kids supported you because what as a woman or just out in the world, a lot of times what I hear is people don't support men's dreams, right? So
No.
you'll have things you want to do, and a lot of times y'all push y'all hopes and dreams to the wayside for the betterment of trying to take care of the family, which
Yeah.
sucks. But men most of the time y'all are like, and it's sad to say y'all probably go by that thing, happy life, happy wife, happy life. So y'all just like, I just won't do it, and I'm
I, you
happy
know,
you
I
did.
felt guilty for a long time. I felt guilty, working on the car, stuff
Mhm.
like that, buying stuff for the car. Until one day, the wife and kids were like, listen, don't worry. This is only temporary. Do what you want to do. Follow your dreams first. Do what you got to do
Right.
first. And then, let's all enjoy it. Everybody got a ride in the car. Everybody went crazy. It went to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. The car's been in magazines and stuff like that. The kids went crazy in it. They loved it. And what I love, my favorite thing that I love hearing is when my kids come home from school and they're like, Dad, we bragged about you, or they looked up your Instagram, or they seen you on YouTube where they were talking about cars, and I said, that's my dad. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the coolest dad. Or they'd be in an argument with another kid and be like, that's why my dad's car is faster than yours, and my dad's car would beat your car. I love that. I love it. I love the dad points. I guess we go and like, yeah.
What was it like the first time you sat in the car and crunk it up and was gonna drive it? What? Tell me about that feeling.
KB, it's like you remember that feeling where like your legs shake uncontrollably, like you're behind the wheel, or like you brake really hard, somebody cut you off, and you're like nervous like that. That whole ride, that whole time sitting behind the wheel when it first started and it was just idling, I couldn't control. It was like that shake in your foot and your
Hmm.
body is like that nervous, like, well, I wonder what'll happen. I'll tell you something funny about that. The first time we got it going, I think it was like the second test ride. Um, some guy Matt hit me up from a magazine. He goes, "I want to go on a test ride with you." I was like, "Yo, the car's not ready. No, nothing. I'm not ready for none of that yet." And he kind of pushed it. So I was like, I don't even know if the brakes really work like that though. But I'm a kid. I'm younger. And I'm like, I don't want to look stupid and miss this opportunity. So I was like, oh, you know what? Hop in the car. And I think the car, it wasn't even fully tuned. The brakes weren't even fully really done. The car wasn't even painted all the way or nothing. It was just like bubble gum and duct tape, the car. So he gets in the car, he's filming and everything, and I had this guy, he was making all kinds of noises from the fender. I think it was missing bolts and all kinds of stuff. The seat had like one bolt in it. He's moving around, and I'm hitting this thing, and it's moving. And it's doing good, and I'm shocked, and I'm like, oh, we haven't, nothing yet. The brakes are working. I think I got about 30 seconds left before, and I was like, I'm just doing donuts, whipping it around, having fun, showing off, and he's there like this, oh, like he's scared. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going right back to the shop. I gave him like a good 3-4 minute ride, test ride, everything. And I was so scared. Every time I got in that car, it was a feeling like nervousness, like, oh, I built this, so I kind of trust it. but I remember I still built it. So did I forget something? Because the wife's always yelling at me, honey, you forgot this. So I know I got extra bolts here somewhere. This time, where'd this come from? But it was all good, man. It was all good. I mean, I even let my daughter. She was 16 at the time. I even let her drive it.
Aww.
And she loved it. It was an experience. The wife, I even let her drive it. And she goes, I'm so upset that we couldn't go to more car shows with it. And I couldn't pull up and drive it more. I was like, nah, you an animal sometimes on that gas.
Right.
Gas ain't cheap. And now this is the E85.
Right. Not to mention probably what you got for it. You was like, hey.
I had to, and that's what it put us back in a good place, because COVID and all that stuff and all this, it really drained a lot. And, I'm happy I sold it because it put us back in a better place and everybody was good. And I was able to afford another car, I
can't wait to find out what the new, and again, and let me just say in advance, thank you so much for allowing me to get the exclusive.
No, it's okay. I'm more than happy. I will give you one clue. It is more than one car. And one is the G-body.
Wait a minute now.
It is more than one.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like a reversal. So we got something going on, we got something going on over here. And I involved the kids in this one more. I gave them, I want to give them more screen time, more film time, more pictures. And, especially my daughters. I got 3 daughters and a son.
Mm-hmm. Right.
My daughters are the oldest. And I can tell you right now, my girls ain't nothing to play with. They play sports. They can change oil. They can change fuses. They know how to fix the tires. They know how to do all kinds of stuff. Right. So I'm happy. Me teaching them what I was learning and what I was doing, they learned also. So they can fend for themselves and go out in this world and know how to change a tire or oil or something, not to depend on nobody, So I'm happy about that.
If you have not already, what is your dream car to own or build?
My dream car would be to buy back my '69 Charger, my RT, and I would have to say, another Grand National T-top. I have to have a T-top. I got to feel that wind.
Are you gonna leave that one regular, or are you gonna try
regular? I won't chop that one up for nothing. I will say one of my favorite cars. I had a Aero Coupe Monty, and I love that thing. The way that thing looked was awesome. I had a nice Aero Coupe Monty, and it was gorgeous. And my mom, back in the day, I'll never forget, you remind me, she had a Monte Carlo from back in the day, and I remember driving from Jersey to PA to Allentown with it, and she hit a deer. Oh, my God, and that car took it. That's why I'll never forget that Monte Carlo, that SS she had.
But that's back when cars were like cars.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so you talked about including and incorporating the family into your build.
Yes.
Talk about how you balance. Do you have like a work-life balance? Do you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I try to get myself to the point that I'm a business owner myself, so I make my own schedule.
Okay.
I learned I'm not good working for somebody else. I like to work for myself to make my own schedule, to make my own thing. Especially if my wife calls, I like to run and be there. If my girls call, I like to run and be there if they need me. But that's always been my whole life. Always trying to balance and maintain a life with the family and a life with working and a life with cars and stuff. But I've learned, and they've been real receptive to me mixing both. They don't have an issue with it. There's been times, sometimes, like I've been outside working 15 hours on a car, and the wife, I'll be in the garage and she'll be there with a plate of food talking to me while I'm under a car, or one of the kids bringing me a soda and hanging out with me and just talking. I love that. I love the fact that I have that freedom because before it was so much harder, to be working for somebody and then not have that freedom if my kids call or my wife calls or they need me or missing a soccer game or wrestling or something.
Right.
I like to be available for my family, and I learned that if I have the opportunity and chance to be available to my family and for my family, I'm gonna make sure I do it.
Right.
I don't like to be under nobody else's, schedule. I really don't. I learned that.
Yeah. So since you build the Hellnational, do people hit you up and are like, do you build cars? Can you build my car?
All the time, all the time, all the time they hit me up and ask me, and I have no issue. I've built a few customer cars before. I've done some stuff for some people. I've helped, pave the way, like schematic wise, showing them pictures and stuff I've done, how I've done it, places I've went to, parts I bought, how to make those parts work. You know, I've done for a lot of people. I just don't like the people that just turn around and say, I want to build one. Can you help me? Or I'm not building one, but what'd you do? And they try to like be sneaky about it. You know what I mean? I just don't like when people try to lie and be sneaky. Like I'm not saying the regular, like us. It's like I want to say the name, but I'm not going to shit on them. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say their name like that. But I had a company call me one time and ask me, how'd you do the cross member, on the car? Or how'd you make this fit? How'd you make that fit? And then come to find out, they take my idea and they take the way I did it, and put their name on it, or they try to say they were the ones that did it. I'm not, honestly, I don't care about being famous and, being a millionaire and all that other kind of stuff. I just wanted to be the first and only one. And I wanted my kids to see that that did something that nobody did.
Right.
I'm not going to compare myself to like a Henry Ford or, anything like that. But what's funny is my wife said, you got to think of yourself like that because you'll forever be in history and being the first and only one to do this and
Right.
showing people, and I thought about that and I was like, damn, I don't think about myself like that. I just think regular, like
Yeah.
I built a car. That's how I think.
Yeah.
But she tries to drill it in my head. Think more positive, think more better than that. Like you didn't just build a car, you built something that, inspired a lot of people, and
Right.
dreams and stuff. So I was like, damn, yeah, you're right.
And you're definitely etched in history.
Yeah.
So the thing about that is that like I said, that's what separates the car guys
Yeah.
and the guys with cars. Because
Yeah.
guys with cars, they just do stuff so that they can get clout. You know what I'm saying?
That-
But
That's
but
that's what it
car
is.
guys, they
Yeah.
don't really care. They just want to be able to drive the car and
Yep. I
just
love to have a conversation like with me and you, chopping it up about cars.
right,
We'll go for a ride, go to a show, stuff like that. But the ones I don't like is the ones that just they're so cocky about it and want the clout and try to do. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that.
right,
I don't come from that. I'm more humble than that. And that's where my issue lies with a lot of these big guys. That they make these big YouTubes and act like they're this great thing. Just be a normal person and be humble.
right.
Because
And
you could
even
have a guy out there with a $500 G body that he'll smoke you. You don't
and you
know.
better know it. And
You
and
know
then they won't post a video to that
exactly.
500 body.
Exactly. You don't need no fancy paint job or nothing like that. That guy would destroy you out there in the track on the street. It's just
Absolutely,
it's being a good person at the end of the day. You know
absolutely.
that's
So,
what I say.
would you like for your kids to follow in your footsteps?
I would love for them. I would love for my girls. I would love for my son to do it. But I hope they choose their own path and be successful and healthy and whatever they want to do. You know, I want them to do it. But if they want to choose this, I'll be more than happy to support them and be behind them. They owe me a lot of wrenching time anyway, so my back, I'm getting older. My back is starting to hurt, So the next one, that's what I said. The next two, the two that I have, I'm going to incorporate them a lot. They got young backs. So, and hopefully I could get a lift this year. So
You will. Don't say hopefully. Just say I am, or I feel like
yes.
you could speak things into existence.
Yeah,
So you got
I'm
to
a
say
big
when
believer
I
in
get
that.
a lift, or I am going to get a lift.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a big believer in that.
Because you never know. One company might reach out and be like, "Hey, we saw what you did. We saw you did it without a lift. We
Yep.
want to send you a lift."
Send me a nice toolkit, please, because this toolkit is it's seen its days.
what what would you tell anybody that's looking to? Well, they can't do what you did because you've already done that, so they would only be the second to do it. But what would you tell anybody looking to get into doing fixing on their own cars or doing repairs on their own cars?
If they want to do another G body like mine, a Grand National, whether it be a Grand National, a Mani, or whether it be whatever car, if they want to do it. Chase your dreams. If I inspired you to do it, do it. If you want to do it, do it. If it's something you want to do it. Anything you want to do, even if it's not that. Just do whatever. Have fun. Just have fun doing it. Don't think of it like a job, because that's when you're gonna start to hate it. You know, and just don't listen to people that don't support you and they're negative.
Right.
No, always think of the positive, and it's like you said, speak it into fruition. Speak it into existence, and it'll happen, man. Because I've had those days that I was just like, I don't want to do this. I give up. I want to sell it. I've said it 100 times. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This thing's broke me. It broke me. And then there was times that I just pick up the wrench again and say, stop being a crybaby. Or my wife would be like, hey, get back in that garage. Or the kids would be like, hey, are we working on the car? And I'm like, all right, let's go. Do what you want to do and have fun, and don't let nobody stop you. You only get one life. Enjoy your life,
Right.
and do whatever you want in this life. That's all it is. Have your fun, work on your car, paint it whatever color, put whatever you want to do it. Don't let nobody negative get in your head. You know, don't let nobody negative bring you down and just not let you do what you want to do in life. Do
There's people
everything you
shaking
want to
up
do.
out of here every day. People saying, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow," and tomorrow never comes.
Yeah, you got to get on that. You got to get on it and do it. Don't procrastinate and just, even if you don't want to, just do it. Just got to.
Right.
There's times that every day I feel like giving up, not working on the car, not doing nothing, and not filming or not. And I just say, come on. Then that's one more day I got to do it. Let me just get it over with. You know?
You know what? One thing about this car stuff though, it would have been it would have been it's like being in an abusive relationship.
Oh,
Like, and it definitely would have been cheaper for us to smoke crack instead
oh,
of.
I'm telling you. You know what my wife says? She goes, this is like having another woman or something. I'm like, she's like, this is even more expensive than me. And I'm like, oh, man. All right, I get the hint.
She's right. It is. It's listen. Every time they would tell me, because I'm not even done building my car. Every time they would tell me they needed something else, another part, or something else, they found more rust or something. It sounded like that noise. You know that noise that your Cash App makes when you get money. It sounded like that noise that your Cash App makes when you get money. I was like, don't give me any more bad news. I'm not. I don't want to buy any more. Nothing else. I'm done. I'm tired. Oh, let's see what happened. Okay, maybe. Let's see what happened. I think his phone must have went dead. But um, I think that was just about all I had though. I'm not sure if he'll join back in, but you guys heard what he said. So he's building another car. I get the exclusive on the new build, and the Hellnational is gone. So he sold it to someone, not telling who at this point, but it's gone. And like I said, when I saw he was building a Grand National with a Hellcat motor, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is this is some amazing stuff." So I'm bringing them back in now, guys. Yeah.
You see, I'm getting old, and it
Yeah.
messed with me. I forgot to charge the phone. I gotta put it on the
No, I was just telling them,
charger.
just doing like a little brief recap that I'm gonna get the exclusive, and then the car is gone. How long ago did you sell the car?
I think about a year ago, year and change, about a
Hmm.
year and a half ago.
So,
Yeah,
what's
last
the
year.
phone call like when somebody calls you and like, hey, can I get the car?
You know what was weird? I didn't put it for sale or nothing.
Hmm.
I had a random call from Ed Brewer, is his name.
Oh yeah,
And,
car bar. Hmm.
yeah, car bar, yeah.
He's in
And
Atlanta here. Hmm.
yep. And he
Yeah.
called me up and he's like, "You selling it?" I was like, "Maybe."
Right.
And you know Ed,
Right.
and his boy, he's a great guy, Melvin. I forgot his boy's name.
Yeah, you talk about rolling museums.
Yeah, Rolling
Hmm.
Museums and Car Bar Atlanta.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome people.
Yeah.
Ed and his boys, sweetest guys, nicest. They're so cool.
Right.
Never had an issue. He called, we want to buy it. I said, "What's up?" He goes, "I'll be there Wednesday. I'm flying in." Wednesday, flew in, car's gone. That was
Right.
that.
Right.
That was that. He don't play around. Ed
They
don't play
definitely don't
around.
play.
They don't play around.
They don't. They definitely don't. I've had both of them on the show, and when I tell you, um, they are really amazing guys. And the one thing that I love is in a culture where a lot of people don't do good business, they do
Yep,
good business.
they do. They
Yeah.
do.
Where?
They do. They both genuinely great guys. Um, the reception was great. Everything was great. I offered them some food. Come eat, come chill. It was cold too. It was around that time. It was cold. But let me tell you, they are they're two of the greatest people I ever met. They keep it real. I love their honesty. Any questions, anything they ever had, I answered them. They can call me anytime. I promised them a visit, and that's why I'm getting the RV ready. The RV is almost ready by next month, and I promised them a visit. And I wanted to go see the Hellnational, and I wanted to
Okay.
go see them. So the last I heard, the Hellnational was gonna be over there in a museum or something over there,
Oh, that's what's up.
or somewhere with them on display.
Mhm.
You know, so I want to go see those guys. I want to go see the car. I want to go see them, go hang out with them, spend some time.
Right.
And spend some time with the family. Bring them over there. I've never been to Atlanta.
Really?
I've never been home, so I want to go.
Man.
Yeah, I want to go.
Oh, you should come around the time that it's a big show. You should have came when it was Whips by Wade show,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah. He's yeah.
um
I talked to him too.
yeah
Yeah, he's cool.
so Whip Addict has a show coming up in October. I think it's October 12th, if I'm not mistaken. That's always a really big show. So maybe you should incorporate it when you can come and go to like a big show as well.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
yeah,
not sure if you go to excuse me, if you would go to Ross's show, but Ross usually has his show in like June, I think June.
yeah,
So yeah, you should incorporate it when it's something else going on.
yeah, yeah. I mean, speaking of Ross show, I got something for Ross's show. So
What?
that's part of the two cars.
Okay.
The kind of cars that be over there. I built one of
Okay.
those.
Okay.
So I can't reveal too much, but I got some stuff going on.
Well, I'm not gonna push it because I know I'm a know first. So
You're
I'm a
gonna be the
let you.
first one. You're gonna be the first one. That's why I've been having to keep stuff on the wraps. I gotta lock the garage because these kids they be nosy as hell and they be
Right.
taking pictures and they'll be bragging to their friends and showing their
Right.
friends.
And
And I can't
next
have
thing
them
you know,
ruining the
one of
surprise.
the friends done put it on the internet.
I
So
can't have them ruining the surprise.
last question: when you're no longer doing this, what would you like for your legacy to be?
That my kids were proud of my wife. That I was a good dad and I was a good husband. That's all I want. All I want is all I ever care about and I tell my wife this and my kids. I don't care about nobody's opinion or thought or anything of me. but you guys. If you guys tell me that I'm not doing good or I'm being a bad dad or something, those are the only opinions and only things I care about. All I care about in this world is being a good husband and good dad. You know, that's what my legacy and that's what I want my name to forever be is. I love my dad. My dad was the greatest. My dad was my Superman. You know, that's what I want.
So those were all my questions. You got anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I love talking to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love your energy. Thank you so much. I can't wait to meet you soon. And I promise you, I promise, you'll be the first one to know what's going on.
Thank you, Alfred. Listen, you know that makes the car girl in me, that makes my heart so happy.
You know, you got to be proud of yourself too, because you out here doing what not a lot of people do. You know what I mean? Not a lot of females, especially too. You know, it's a tough game in this game. You know, not a lot of people respect already as it is. Not a lot of people, you know, show love as it is. It's even as hard for you as it is, you know, for me, being a female in this, you know. So do what you got to do and keep going. Don't let nobody stop you in any way too. And you keep your energy and keep being beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So
Right.
are you coming back on the show, or are you just gonna tell me and we're gonna drop pictures, or
Oh,
what are we gonna do?
I'll come back on the show and I'll send you pictures and we could talk, we could video chat all the time and I'll give you the first and only sneak peek.
I can't wait.
And
Thank you so much.
I was supposed to give Killer Mike a sneak peek first because we be talking. He goes, I want to see what you're working on next. So I gotta call Mike and be like, yo, I gotta give, you know, I gotta give my girl a quick peek first.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tell Mike he can be second behind me. It's all right. It's all right. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time. I know you've been busy all day, and then do this at this time of night. I really appreciate you.
No, thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate you and what you're doing also for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
You too. Have a good night.
All right. So, guys, if y'all missed any of tonight's episode of Rise and Vibe, you can catch the full replay on YouTube. You need to make sure that you go subscribe to the YouTube channel by clicking the link in my bio. See you guys next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another episode of Rise and Vibes. Good night.